The Deadline Murders by Ron Morgans, narrated by Gabrielle de Queer and Stefan Rudnicki. I will preface my review by saying that I love these narrators' interpretation of the secret adversary. Many reviewers were unhappy with Gabrielle de Queer's accent, but for me it was a plus rather than a negative. I gave that book an unreserved 5 stars. In this book, however, Gabrielle de Queer is absolutely awful, but I'll come back to that later. The Deadline Murders follows freelance photographer Henrietta "Henry" Fox, whose life becomes endangered after witnessing a Chinese military plane explode in a fireball. Meanwhile, across Europe, 5 murders occur, each victim found with an exotic breed of cat thought to have been extinct for 300 years. Henry is drawn into the puzzle because she is the only one who seems to understand the significance of these cats left at the crime scenes. The murders appear connected to a larger, sinister plot involving international intrigue and espionage. As Henry digs deeper, she faces increasing danger from unknown enemies determined to silence her. Da da da! That summary really does make it sound better than it actually is. The story is just not that good, perhaps because the author, Ron Morgans, is a former photographer and decided he'd try his hand at writing. If only he hadn't given up the day job, so to speak. There are lots of descriptions of what Henry is wearing for no apparent reason. The last few chapters pick up slightly, however the characters are caricatures not helped by Gabrielle's reading, and the scenario is completely implausible. I can't say anything without giving part of the plot away. It's frustrating rather than tense. But let's get back to the performance. I'm afraid that Gabrielle de Queer's performance is distractingly bad. It's hard to state just how terrible she is. The character of Henry is supposed to come from London. The accent, however, slaloms across the country, although it seems to skirt Manchester quite a lot. The vowels are all wrong. At times it seems like she's not putting on an accent at all until one of those wonky vowels slips in. I really can't emphasize how bad and distracting it is. And then there are the characters who are supposed to have an accent. I cringed at the Scottish accent. It's an abomination. You'll be listening to this thinking, surely it can't be that bad. It is. But it's not just the accent. She mispronounces words a lot. I lost count. Combined with the dodgy accents, it takes you out of the story, unfortunately. What I did like is that the two narrators tell the story from different points of view. Gabrielle de Queer reads the chapters from Henry's point of view, while Stefan Rudnicki narrates what's going on in China. It's a small positive. These narrators had recorded another book in this series, however I won't be touching that with a barge pole. They were also supposed to be releasing a sequel to The Secret Adversary, which I was quite looking forward to. However, it seems to have been scrapped. It should have been released in 2023, and in fact their version of The Secret Adversary is no longer available on Audible, at least in the UK. It's still available in the USA. Would I listen to another book by Ron Morgans? No. Would I listen to another book narrated by Gabrielle de Queer and Stefan Rudnicki? I'd probably have to say no. All in all, I'd give the story a 2 out of 5 and the performance a 1 out of 5. How about you? Have you listened to this book? Do you think people should stick at what they're good at or branch out? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe as I release a new review every week. Thanks for watching.